can't go back. And that's the theme of this video. You can't go back. I don't know how many clients I work with who they have their goals, they know where they want to go, they know what they want to do, how they want to get better. We set the course, we set the path, and then they go forward. But unless you change the mindset, the gyroscope, if you will, if you don't change the directions inside, you're going to keep repeating what has been. Or you get distracted and you keep looping off on these alternative paths. And then you come back, well, I tried that, I did this, I did that. I'm saying you got to go all in. And people tell me, oh yeah, I went all in. For a day, for a week, make the commitment 100%, 110%, whatever it's going to take to stay the course. Stop looking left, right, and back for something else. This stuff works, but you also have to work it, as they say. When you make the decision, do not be double-minded. You can't serve two masters, so to speak. You can't be over here part of the time and then over here part of the time and expect to get a singular outstanding result. You can't reach the promised land. You can't reach all the power and the glory if you're constantly moving back and forth. Now, we're going to talk about some other things in the video about how to help you stay the course and why. We're going to hear from heaven. We're going to hear from hell. We're going to have all kinds of things in here that I hope make sense to why we have to be more and more single-minded about where you want to go. But Tom, we're talking about anxiety. We're talking about depression. Yes, all of that. We'll get to that. But I want to deepen the idea of being single-minded, staying the course, and being 100% into the process. Commit yourself to this process of change and transformation. This isn't just applying some techniques. So we talked about the wisdom technique. That'll help you make decisions. It's simple, it's clear, it's direct. We're going to keep talking about those kinds of things to help us. But today's video is a follow-up on moving away from regret, moving away from the past, not keep looking back. We've already talked about what you can learn from regret, what's there. It's done. Now we're talking about how do you go forward? How do you keep moving? Why? Because you need to set the goal and you need to go all in. And then we rewire those mental pathways, those grooves in our head that go from neuron to neuron, filled with memory and stuff that doesn't work. You keep changing and adjusting to that so that you can get to where you want to go. If you think it's so, it's so. If you don't, you don't. If you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. How do we change that? Because a lot of that's unconscious, supported by history, supported by those deep grooves of memory. You need to actually rewire the brain. And how do you do that? New thoughts, new ways of thinking, and then put it into practice to actually follow through. So we have a mindset in the morning, not just any morning or when you feel like it, every morning. We retune, dial in exactly what it is that you want, and then continue to go for it. What happens when I ask clients, what do you want? What do you really want? I don't know is often the answer that comes up. Even when they tell me something, then you say, well, what do you get from that? What does that give you? Why do you want that? And oftentimes it's a feeling, and that's fine. We want to adjust and change our feeling states, especially when you're caught in those two big ones, emotion of depression and the emotion of anxiety. When we're either too far into the past or too far out into the future. And we're trying to determine a place, But what does that give? If we dial in on the anxiety, we bring that back, what does that give us? What sense of security, sense of safety? I don't always have to be looking over my shoulder wondering, is there some tiger in the background? We're going to hear a little later on in the video, stay tuned, about a snake that actually changed history and became a great metaphor for the point I'm making today. So I don't want to be worried about that. I don't want to be anxious about that. I want to have confidence and feel safe and secure in my backyard, right? So how do we do that? What do we do? What do we do to stay the course and tolerate the bumps in the road? Now, in the videos, there's enough videos here that you can put all of that together. Morning, then in the evening, kind of ending the day, and then as you go to sleep. Why is that important? Because I don't want my mind kind of wandering around and trying to figure out, was there some danger today? Do I have to be worried about tomorrow? I want it to be focused, calm, deep, satisfying sleep. We're breaking habits of thought, and we're ending habits of thought, no different than any of the other habits, like habit of smoking. The brain's not so worried about habit of smoking or these kind of habits either, because they're not life and death. Eventually, yes, cigarettes can kill you. But in the meantime, it didn't kill you today, didn't kill you yesterday. So it allows it to be a habit in place. This is a behavioral habit. How do you end it? How do you stop it? Become a non-smoker. How do you do that? The minute you tell yourself you are. And all the habits that go along with smoking, like taking a smoke break, going outside. Non-smokers don't do that. They probably should. They'd be healthier if they went outside once in a while during a 8 or a 12-hour shift. But smokers do it on a regular basis. Unfortunately, the rest of the activity is not healthy and good for them. But we would all do well taking breaks. It's training the brain, rewiring the brain. And later on, I'm going to talk about a program that I've got coming up that will help you, guide you, create a framework for that so that it makes it a lot easier to do. Why am I doing that? Because we want to end, like in any of the habits, including mindset habit, you just declare yourself that way and you are. I'm a non-smoker. Well, if I haven't smoked for the last 5 minutes, I can say that with a straight face. I'm a non-smoker. And I happen to be a non-smoker too. I can't tell you the last time I puffed on a cigarette. Alcohol, same thing, or any of the addictions, anything that you're putting into your body, you can stop that. There's nobody making you do those things. You just declare yourself to be that and stop doing the behavior. For this one, I want you to start doing a behavior where you commit to it 100%, all in. And what do? My clients say that's what's going on. And then when you start to talk to them, it's like, well, I woke up this morning and I felt a little insecure, or I felt a little nervous, or I felt a little depressed. So then I thought, well, maybe I'll just check my horoscope. I'm going to go over here and see what the tarot cards have to say. Stop that. Commit to the change. And then trust the universe to support you in that. Now, there should be enough videos by now that you know my belief about that is that we're not alive by ourselves, that life force, that life that's in each one of our cells is in all the cells. It's all the same. It's just here. We're a part of it. And it's here until it's not here anymore. For some of us, it's instant. For others, it's a more gradual withdrawal of life. It doesn't have to be either of those. I think we can be alive all the way up to the last moment when we take our last breath in and we release it and let it go. That's not what this video is about today. But being connected to the life force is. That's where that creative energy comes from. It's get out of the Newton physics world of cause and effect. There is a cause and effect and a law for that, but there's also this creative energy that changes reality as we move into it and allow it to develop and happen. It's that field of potential. It's not here yet. It's just forward in the now moment. And that's where all of these things take place. That's where the magic happens. It's where we get energized to keep going, to keep going, to keep going until we realize in the 3D world around us evidence for the change. It's like the little caterpillar who climbs into the cocoon and begins the transformative process. On day 2, he or she doesn't say, I don't think this is working. This is not working. A lot of clients call me back, say, Tom, I've done it, it's not working. It's working, but it's a process. There's other things that come up. That's why we keep meeting and talking about it, because there's other things that we haven't addressed that are unique and to you. And that's okay. So we look at those. What's the solution to that? How do we stay in the cocoon of transformation until the miracle happens and you stretch out these amazing wings and you're in full technicolor and you can float like a butterfly through life, enjoying absolutely every moment in a non-anxious, not depressed way. Is it possible? Thinking makes it so. And that's why we change our thinking. That's why we change the pathways. That's why we work on mindset so that it happens. Is it going to be that way every day, like you're just floating through? No, there's going to be some days you wake up and it's like you've morphed back into that caterpillar and you're just kind of barely crawling around. What do? Mind shifting. We come back into alignment where everything is lined up and we're going in the direction and the place and the way that we want to go. But you have to stay the course every day. It's not that I'm a non-smoker yesterday, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. No, non-smoker. That's the commitment. That's the course. That's the line. I don't need to check tarot cards. I don't need to kind of loop around. What do you do if you relapse? You get back on it. Stay on it. Stay with it. Follow through. Follow through. Follow through. Okay, so what if I don't? Well, that's where a little coaching on the side can be helpful. That's where being in a community of people who are going through the process can be helpful. That's what we want to create here. That's what we're doing here. That's why we're talking about it here. And I'm creating a larger platform where we can kind of come and just kind of focus among ourselves to do that. But in the meantime, we have this. So stay with it, keep going, keep following, keep listening, stay the course. Now, what happens and why do we need to do this? Because your life shifts and changes. And I want to add another thought here that while you're doing this, think of yourself as being extremely lucky. This I learned from Winston Churchill. You know, he was invited out to do a big speech, and he said, you know, basically, kind of, he did the talk, and he said, I'm going to end this that I wish for you great luck, that you be lucky. And then he ended it, sat down, and somebody was asking him afterwards, well, why did you say that? What's with the luck stuff? What are you talking about? And he said, well, if I can wish you good health, I can wish you great wealth, I can wish you all of those things, but everybody on the Titanic had that. What they didn't have was luck. And it really made me think, that's right. Sometimes we look for things and it's like, yeah, that's good to have that, but I want good fortune. I want to feel blessed as I go through life. So I have added that to part of what I tell myself every day, that I am lucky, I am fortunate, I am blessed. And if that's the case, when I say stay the course, then other thoughts that challenge that, I need to dismiss them. I need to delete them. They don't match that. Delete, delete. If somebody's lucky, do they experience this? Delete. Do they think this? Delete. Are there going to be little bumps? And yes, of course. But the majority of shifts and changes fit what it is that I'm thinking about, what it is internally that I'm visualizing for myself. Stay that course. Keep going. Now, I promised you, heaven talks about this and hell talks about it. You can get it in both directions. There's the Greek myth about Orpheus, and remember he was the one who he could play like a magic lyre, like a fancy guitar, and sing. He had this amazing voice, and he could just kind of melt rocks and cause trees to dance. And there's all this discussion about him. And he met this most beautiful woman ever, married her, having this perfect life. Except one day she was out for a walk, got bit by a poisonous snake, like this poisonous snake that might be back here. Actually, we don't have so many in Connecticut. I don't have to worry about that. And died and went into the underworld. And he was unconsolable. His whole light and life and world seemed to have gone with her. And so his friends gathered around and said, well, you have this power of your voice and playing your lyre. Why don't you go and play for Hades in the underworld and see if he'll release her and give her back to you? So he did. And he got down, and Hades, or the devil, was talking to him. And he said, well, here's the deal. I'll let her go with you back into life, but you cannot look back. He doesn't explain why, but he tells him, Orpheus, you cannot look back. I think it's a Greek way of telling us what's happened in the past has happened in the past, let it go. So he's leaving with her. All kinds of things are happening. There's noise going on. He's so tempted, but he remembers, okay, I can't look back, can't look back. And there's sounds and things happening. They get there, they're almost into life. They're ready to go through the gate into life. And he's feeling this kind of relief. Not quite there yet, but guess what? He like, I can't wait to see her. And he turns around to look at her, and his wife is gone forever because he looked back. He didn't stay the course. He didn't keep moving forward. I think it's a way for them to tell us the past is the past, let it go, move away from it. It will only continue the sense and feeling of depression. It will only increase and sense the feeling of anxiety. Let it go. Keep going forward in your life. Now, the interesting thing about it is that Jesus said the same thing. Well, and we already saw it with Lot and his wife. Remember, she looked back, turned to salt. But Jesus said it. It's curious. He's getting people ready to go out and continue the mission, the purpose of their life, to fulfill the purpose of their life. And he tells them this story. No one can put their hand on the plow, look back, and be worthy of the kingdom or get into the kingdom. It depends on which version you're looking at. So you're going to miss the glory. You're going to miss the power. You're going to miss everything if you put the hand on the purpose, the plow, and then you turn around and look back. Wow. Really? Maybe this is an important thing here. Maybe this is an important concept. I got it in Greek mythology, I got Christianity, and in the Jewish tradition, in the Hebrew scriptures. Don't look back. I'm guessing because they already understood quantum physics. They knew that everything is in the moment. So if I look back, if I go back into the past, I'm literally going back. I'm changing my brain chemistry. So are you when you go back. Stop doing that. Stay the course. Once that thing is broken, let it go. Throw it over your shoulders. The past is the past. This day ended past. Go forward in your life. You can't redo it. You can't undo it. There's no second. There's no mulligans for the past. Create the future that you want by design. Create the blueprint for the life that you want to have, and then follow the instructions. I'm doing a course beginning of September. We're going to go through this very simple, easy steps to do the design, follow through, And we get to discuss and talk with each other, and kind of the questions that pop up and the issues and problems as we go through this week by week. You'll get to ask those questions. So stay tuned. We'll have a sign-up sheet for it in here and also on the website, drtomleutner.com. And hey, again, I so appreciate you spending some time with me. I hope this is clear. Stop doing those little side trails on your daily routine. Stay the course, stay the goal, follow through. And thank you for spending a little time with me. So appreciate it. My heart to your heart. Namaste.